Alrighty, chicos, bienvenidos a otro Screencastify. Today we're going to be talking about descriptive adjectives in Spanish known as adjetivos descriptivos. Today, your job during our hybrid schedule, if you're seeing this right now, you are currently in my online session. Your task today is to complete this ed puzzle. Okay, you're going to go through all these descriptive adjectives. Your task is to write them down in your cuaderno. You must take notes on this. So if you do not have your cuaderno, please go get it. Pause this video because you're going to be taking some notes. Once you have taken these notes, you're going to answer the questions along through this ed puzzle, and that tells me that you were here in class today. Remember, we're on our hybrid schedule, so I will see this, and I will see this as your participation for today. If you do not complete this today, number one, you won't get your participation, and number two, you're going to be very lost in the weeks to come. So please get this done. Please stress to your classmates, hey guys, you got to do this because this is your participation and this is what we're going to be learning over the next quarter. So I want to make sure we're ready to go. Okay, so I would rather have done this in person with you, but this is what we're being dealt with. So I'm going to show you the picture. I'm going to show you the word in Spanish. You're going to write it down in Spanish and in English. So here we go. If we were in class, I would make you guess. And you would all guess short versus tall. Muy bien. Okay. Over on the left, we have the word alto. So practice on your own at home. Repeat after me. Alto, alta. Tall. Okay. Alto, alta means tall. Remember, these are adjectives. Adjectives describe nouns, right? They tell us what they are like. Those are adjectives. Versus bajo. Okay, over here we have bajo. Bajo or baja. Please make sure you write that slash. Okay, it could be alto or alta. It could be bajo or baja. And I will explain why that is later on in this ed puzzle. But bajo or baja means short. Okay, so alto, tall, bajo, short. Or it could be feminine also. Okay, if I go too fast, please pause it. But again, make sure you write these things down. You have to have these written in your notes or you will not know what's going on. So please take some notes. Write it in English, write it in Spanish. Moving on. Okay, this is trying to be funny. It's kind of hard to do this one. So we have simpático versus antipático. Simpático means nice or kind, okay? Antipático, mean. So again, simpático, notice the stress on the here, right? I gotta pronounce that strongly. Simpático, simpática, nice, versus antipático, antipática, mean. Nice versus mean. Moving on. Okay, we have bonito o bonita versus feo o fea. Pretty versus ugly. Yes, now you can call your friends ugly, guys. Don't be that person though. Don't be that person. Okay, bonito, bonita versus feo, fea. Bonito is a pretty. Okay, bonito meaning pretty, feo meaning ugly. There's another word that you might have heard before, and that word is guapo. Okay, guapo or guapa. Guapo can mean handsome. Notice there is a here, so we could use the word guapa for ladies too. Okay, guapa can mean handsome. Yes, you can call a lady handsome. It's like a different term, right? Pretty is pretty, but handsome is handsome. It's different, right? But we would use guapo for a guy like Juanes, one of my favorite singers. Okay, handsome or a different level of pretty. Okay, so take note of those differences there. But feo is just the word ugly. Okay, moving on. Okay, we got bueno versus malo. Bueno, good. Malo, bad. Okay, bueno or buena could both mean good. Malo or mala could both mean bad. Again, guys, if I go too fast, just go ahead and pause me. But make sure you write them down. Bueno, good. Malo, bad. Also, please double check that you're spelling these things correctly, right? We don't want to spell them wrong. I will be sharing these slides with you, but make sure you write them down now while you have the chance. All right, next up, another way that you could be mean to your friend. Don't do it, though. Don't do it. We got delgado versus gordo. Okay, delgado. Delgado, delgada, gordo, gorda. Delgado can mean skinny versus gordo can mean fat. There is another word for skinny that some of you might have used before, might have heard before. That word is flaco. Okay, flaco or flaca. Either one of these words can mean skinny in Spanish. I will accept either one. If you would like to use either one, that is fine. Delgado, flaco, gordo. Okay, make sure you're practicing these, speaking these on your own. Again, guys, we got to do the practice on our own. I know I can't be there to do it with you, but I am asking that you do it so that we can get the practice in. Here we go. School's hard, right? Wrong. School's easy. You suck. Just kidding. You don't suck. You don't suck, guys. But I had to make it funny, okay? The words here, they are, one of them is a cognate, yes. Difícil. Oh, looks a lot like the word difficult. Yes, that is correct. Difícil, difficult or hard, versus fácil. Fácil, easy, okay? Fácil, easy. Notice the accent on the A. Please make sure you write that down. Fácil, right? We don't say fácil, we say fácil. Versus difícil. Again, accent right there. Difficult or hard. Difícil, difícil. Moving on. We got a Great Dane and a Chihuahua. Grande versus pequeño. See, grande, big. Pequeño, small. Notice here, I do not have a /o/a because it ends with the e, which we're going to talk about later, okay? But grande, big, pequeño, pequeña, small, depending on if the thing is masculine or feminine. Grande, though, doesn't really matter. Notice, grande, pequeño, pequeña. Up next, we have Albert Einstein and Dumb and Dumber. Inteligente, chicos, inteligente. Obviously is a cognate, right? Looks exactly like the word intelligent. Yes, it means smart or intelligent. Versus tonto or tonta. Tonto or tonta. It can mean silly. It can mean foolish. Some people say stupid. There is a different word for stupid though, okay? But silly or foolish, just kind of like a goof, okay? Tonto or tonta. Tonto or tonta, silly, foolish, goof. You could say stupid, but I would go with silly, okay? Versus inteligente, smart. Smart or intelligent. Up next, we got, a lot of people are like, oh, slow and fast, but no, okay, I'm going for age here. Age. We got joven, young, versus viejo, old. Okay, joven, chicos, joven. Notice I don't say joven, no, no, no. Joven, viejo. Viejo, vieja, old, depending on if it is a gentleman or a lady. See? Joven, young, viejo, vieja, old. Okay, this one is an adjective of quantity. Yes, over here we have a lot. Over here we have a little. We got those two words. Those are adjectives, guys. Adjectives of quantity. Mucho, mucha, versus poco, poca. Mucho, mucha, a lot. Poco, poca, a little or few. Okay, some people also use FEW, few, for poco or poca. Mucho or mucha, though, that's a lot, right? If we say muchas gracias, a lot of thanks, right? Muchas gracias is a lot of thanks. Thank you very much, right? Pocas gracias, that would be few thanks, which who says that, right? Who says that? Okay, moving on. Some of you are this, some of you are that. We all have our days though, guys. The two words that I have here, trabajador. You see something in there that should look familiar, and the word is trabaja. See, trabaja. From the word trabajar. Think about that. What does the word trabajar mean? To work, right? So if you are trabajador, adjective, you are hardworking, okay? Trabajador, hardworking. Trabajadora, hardworking, as in a female, okay? Versus perezoso, perezosa. So many of you are perezosos. Lazy, guys, lazy. Don't be perezoso, be trabajador, okay? But those are the two differences here. Hardworking versus lazy. Perezoso, perezosa, trabajador, trabajadora. Make sure you put the A there because sometimes you might need to use that A, depending on if it is a gentleman or a lady. Moving on. Okay, if you want to describe what kind of hair you got, describing your physical characteristics a little bit. We have three types here. We have moreno, morena, o pelo castaño, which I'll get into the difference there. Pelirrojo, two R's, versus rubio or rubia, okay? First up on the left, we have moreno o morena, pelo castaño, okay? There's two different ways you could say dark-haired, okay? If you are a lighter skinned individual but you have dark hair like me, I would say I have pelo castaño, okay? Pelo castaño describing my hair. But if you are a dark skinned and dark haired person, you would consider yourself to be moreno or morena, okay? Because they use this word to describe skin as well as hair, okay? But if you are a light skinned individual and you have dark hair, you might want to go with pelo castaño. Versus pelirrojo, pelirroja, pelirrojo, pelirroja. Obviously, that is redheaded, okay? Red hair. Notice the difference here. We got that P-E-L, P-E-L, because pelo, chicos, pelo means hair, okay? So in this case, they just kind of combine those two words. If you know the color red, rojo, they kind of smush them together. Pelirrojo, pelirroja. And if you are a blonde-haired individual or light hair, if you have light hair, you would be rubio or rubia. Fun fact, when I studied around the Dominican Republic, I was called this a lot on the street. If you are familiar with a thing called catcalling, it's when people just kind of want your attention on the street, and that's just a cultural thing in the Dominican. It wasn't meant to be disrespectful in any way, but they would call me rubia because I was light skinned. And I mean, I have brown hair, but they just kind of said rubia because they're like, hey, you look foreign, basically. But rubio or rubia refers to blonde, okay? Blonde-haired or light-haired individuals. So that's describing our hair. Okay, almost done with our adjectives, guys. Adjectives describing things that are different. See? Diferente versus mismo, misma, same, okay? Diferente, chicos, repítame. Diferente, obviously it's a cognate, right? But only one F, not two. Diferente, different. Mismo or misma, same. Mismo or misma, same. And our last two adjectives are these right here. It's so hard to find a picture, so just go with it, okay? Interesante versus importante, which again, they're not really opposites here, but they're my last two on my list. So we have interesante, which again, obviously is a cognate. Interesting, yes, interesante, versus importante, important, another cognate. Those two are fairly simple, fairly easy. Make sure you get the spelling correct though. Interesante, importante. Okay, that is the end of our list of adjectives. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a look on how we place these adjectives. We cannot place them anywhere willy-nilly, okay? In Spanish, there is a structure. Just like in English, we have structure. In Spanish, we have to make sure that they're doing what we need them to do in a sentence. If not, you're being grammatically incorrect. Will people understand what you're saying? Yes, for the most part, but we want to make sure we're doing things correctly. So, here we go. First up, ¿qué es un adjetivo? What is an adjective? Which we've just been over. And I told you at the very beginning of this, what is an adjective? An adjective, ladies and gentlemen, modifies the noun. What is a noun? A noun is a person, place, or thing. What does that mean when I say modifies? Well, it describes it, right? For the most part, they are descriptive kinds of words. So, some examples of some adjectives. Take a look. We just did them. Bam, bonito, bonita, pretty, simpático, simpática, nice. Trabajador, trabajadora, hardworking, bajo, baja, short, feo, fea, ugly, inteligente, smart. We have all these different adjectives, which we just went over. Okay, so we're going to describe, or we're going to learn now where to put them. You don't need to write this all down, guys, right? We don't need to write everything down on the slide, just what you think is important. And hello, we just did this, guys, so you don't necessarily need to write it again. But you should know that adjectives modify nouns, okay? That is the job of an adjective in a sentence. So, let's compare and contrast. In English, we say, Juan is nice, Elena is nice, they are nice. My question to you in all three of these sentences, does the adjective, which is highlighted in yellow, change if the subject, the person, right? Who is the subject? Juan, Elena, they. Does the adjective change if the subject is masculine, feminine, singular, or plural? Does the word nice change? Nope, right? The answer to that is no. It stays the same. Nice, nice, nice. It doesn't matter who we're talking about. Juan's nice, Elena's nice, they're nice, 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 nice. Doesn't change. In Spanish, if we were to say Juan is nice, we would say Juan es simpático. Elena is nice, Elena es simpática. They are nice, ellos son simpáticos. So now my question again to you. Does the adjective change if the subject is masculine, feminine, singular, or plural? Yup. Okay, yep, it totally matters in Spanish, guys. This is why we got to be careful with adjectives. Notice it ends with an O. Notice it ends with an A. Notice it ends with an OS. So we're going to take a look-see at how to do just that. There are a few different types of adjective groupings. The first group are our adjectives that end in O or A. And yes, guys, you should be taking notes on this. This is a good thing you should be taking notes on. Adjectives that end in O or A have 4 options, okay? So we have masculine, feminine, singular, or plural. I put it into this chart for you so that you can kind of see them all laid out nice and pretty. If you would like to write this chart down, that'd be a great idea. Let's take a look at el muchacho alto, right? We have the word muchacho, which you learned means young, a boy, okay, right? Muchacho means boy. We're talking more so, teenager, young adult kind of boy. Muchacho alto. Notice we have muchacho is the masculine form of the word muchacho, and we have alto, alto ending with a O because muchacho, right? Muchacho is masculine, it is singular, therefore alto must remain with a O. Now, if we were to talk about the feminine version of this, it would look like la muchacha alta, right? La muchacha alta. Notice now I have a feminine young lady. Therefore, the adjective needs to change. The adjective needs to change from an O to a A, not la muchacha alto. No. She is la muchacha alta because she is a lady, okay? That's how we do it for the singular adjectives that end with O or A. So now what about the plural? What if I wanted to say the tall boys, right? Because alto means tall. So if I wanted to say the tall boys, plural, I would need to say los muchachos altos. Notice everything is agreeing in gender and number, right? I have a plural masculine article, los. I have a plural masculine noun, muchachos. Therefore, I need a plural masculine adjective. The adjective being tall. I have to add an S here. Literally in your brain, think the boys talls. Okay, they have to agree. It always has to agree. So based on this, how would I say the tall girls? How would I say the tall girls? Las muchachas altas. Las muchachas altas. Notice again, it agrees in gender and number. Feminine plural article. Feminine plural noun. Feminine plural adjective. Okay? And this is for our group of O/A, right? If it ends with O or A, the adjective ends with O, the adjective ends with A. This is what we have to do for these kinds of adjectives. The next group that we have is the adjectives that end with E or a consonant. In case you forgot, a consonant is all of those letters in the alphabet, excluding the vowels. Okay, so every letter except A, E, I, O, or U, but including the E. Okay, including the E in this case. So let's take a look at some examples. El muchacho, again the boy, inteligente, smart, intelligent. The smart boy, the intelligent boy. Notice the adjective ends with a E. We are not changing it. We're not making it intelligento. Ugh, that does not exist, okay? We leave it alone. We keep it inteligente because he's just singular. He's just one muchacho. Now, if we're talking about the intelligent girl, la muchacha inteligente. What? Notice, again, no change, guys. It stays E. You don't need to change it. What if we want to make that plural, though? What if we want to make el muchacho inteligente plural? We have to change some things. You have to change the article, you have to change the noun, and you have to change the adjective. Los, plural, muchachos, plural, inteligentes, with an S now because I'm talking about more than one muchacho. Again, making sure it agrees in gender and number. And the last one, if we're talking about the intelligent girls, las muchachas inteligentes, right? We're adding another ES here because they are plural. So that's if it ends with an E. So I'm going to show you another example of it when it ends with a consonant. The first one, or the only one that I'm going to show you is this, which is el examen difícil. El examen difícil. The test, difficult. The difficult test, right? It ends with an L. A L is a consonant. Notice I don't magically throw a O at the end, right? I don't need to add an O. It's just difícil. El examen difícil. The hard test, the difficult test. What if it was a feminine noun? What if I said la clase difícil? Notice here again, I don't add an A, right? We don't magically just throw letters around. If it's difficult and it ends with an L, we're going to leave it alone. Difícil. So this is an example of a singular adjective that ends with a consonant. So if I wanted to say the difficult tests, plural, what's my rule? What's my rule? If I want to make a word plural and it ends with a consonant, do I just add a S? No, I must add a ES, right? I don't say los exámenes difíciles. Ugh, yuck. Okay, I have to say los exámenes. Even here, right? It ends with an N. I have to add an ES. Los exámenes difíciles, right? Adding an ES here, adding an ES here. Sorry, that should be a purple highlight there, right? We gotta make everything plural. We gotta make everything plural. And then the last one, if I want to say the difficult classes, las clases difíciles. Again, adding an ES here because my consonant makes it so. I cannot just say difíciles. Ugh. I need to add a difíciles with an ES. Everything needs to have a sound. We need that extra vowel sound there. Las clases difíciles. See, las clases difíciles. So that's examples of when the adjective ends with an E or a consonant. When an adjective ends with an E or a consonant. You don't need to write all of these down, but if you did, that's great, okay? Again, I'll be sharing these slides with you in the future. The last group that we have are adjectives that end with OR, and we have 4 options here. Once again, masculine, feminine, singular, or plural. El hombre trabajador. Notice it ends with an OR, right? The adjective ends with OR. The hardworking man, the man hardworking, okay? The hardworking man, el hombre trabajador. What if I wanted to say the hardworking woman? The hardworking woman, la mujer trabajadora. Notice the difference here, trabajadora, ending with an A, because remember when we wrote them down, I said it could be trabajador or trabajadora. And this is the case where it's trabajadora because she is a female. Now, what if I wanted to say the hardworking men, plural, not man, men. The hardworking men, well, I need to make everything agree in gender and number. So it's going to look like los hombres trabajadores. See, notice it ends with an R, guys. Remember, if it ends with a consonant and we're making it plural, we need to add an ES. Los hombres, we can just add an S there. Trabajadores, because we were talking about more than one hardworking men, right? Men, hombres. And the last one, hardworking women, plural, las mujeres trabajadoras. Because this ends with the adjective, because this ends with a vowel, we just add an S, right? We can just add an S. This one we need to add an ES because R is a consonant, but this one we can just add an S because it is a vowel, the letter A. Las mujeres trabajadoras, the hardworking women. Okay, the very last thing, which again I've told you 1,000 times before, this has to do with if there are 55 women in one room and one man enters the room, bam, we're talking about masculine, right? So if I say Manuel es alto, Manuel is tall. Lola es alta, Lola is tall, right? He is a guy, so we're going to use a O. She's a girl, so we're going to use a. But if I'm talking about Manuel and Lola, a guy and a girl, the adjective is going to take the masculine form, okay? That's the only thing you need to know here. It's just going to take some practice, but the adjective is always going to be masculine if there's a guy and a girl in the sentence, okay? Same as we've been talking before. That's just the rule in Spanish. Masculinity takes precedence. If you're talking about a bunch of girls, though, this would be altas, right? This would be altas. Bottom line, guys, in this whole thing, adjectives must agree in gender and number. Got it? Got it, Mr. Noodle? Did we watch that as kids, guys? I don't know. Okay, adjectives must agree in gender and number. That's the bottom line. That's the most important thing. Highlight it, circle it, put a big bold sign. I don't know, whatever you do in your notes, okay? But Always, always, always. If the noun is plural, your adjective has to be plural. If your noun is masculine, your adjective has to be masculine. If your noun is feminine, your adjective has to be feminine. Okay, that's the bottom line. Stick it on a post-it, put it on your face, whatever you gotta do to make it work. Okay, very last thing we're gonna talk about is the structure, which you've been seeing. So, position, guys, position of the adjective. Where does it belong in the sentence? Would I say Joaquin es un buen amigo or Joaquin es un amigo bueno? Which one would I use? Which one would I use? The answer is both. What? I know. Okay, both of them are correct, and I will tell you why towards the end of this. Here we go. First off, in Spanish, guys, descriptive adjectives, meaning they're describing things like tall, short, ugly, fat, those. And adjectives of nationality, which you will learn later on this quarter, come after the noun they modify. Again, in Spanish, descriptive adjectives, meaning they describe something, and adjectives of nationality, which you'll learn later, come after the noun they modify. So it looks like this, always. This is our magical equation. We say noun plus adjective in the sentence. It'll look like this. El chico rubio es de España. El chico rubio es de España. The boy blonde is from Spain. The boy blonde is from Spain. But in English, we don't say the boy blonde is from Spain. We say the blonde boy is from Spain. But notice we swap them, right? In Spanish, we start with the noun, then the adjective. In English, we start with the adjective and then the noun. Please make sure you're structuring it correctly because you gotta think in your brain. The boy blonde is from Spain. The boy blonde is from Spain. Not the blonde boy, the boy blonde. Okay. El chico rubio, the boy blonde, es de España. Always, 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 always. When we're talking about descriptive adjectives, right? Rubio is describing his hair, comes after the noun. Let's take a look at this one. La mujer española habla inglés. La mujer española, this is a nationality, okay? You can guess española would mean Spanish. Yes, the Spanish, the woman from Spain, speaks English. The Spanish woman speaks English. Again, notice they're swapped, right? La mujer, woman. Española, Spanish. We swap them because in Spanish, we start with the noun followed by the adjective. In English, we do adjective, noun. In Spanish, we do noun, adjective, okay? So again, these kinds of words, descriptive and nationalities, they come after the noun, after the noun, after the noun. So don't you dare say El Rubio Chico, We say El Chico Rubio. So take a look at these. ¿Cómo se dice the skinny auntie? ¿Cómo se dice the skinny auntie? You're going to answer this on my Ed puzzle. How do you say the skinny auntie? How do you say the skinny auntie? Write it out. And the last one, how do you say, ¿cómo se dice the mean brother? ¿Cómo se dice? How do you say the mean brother? Okay, go ahead and answer that. Careful of your word order. Careful of your word order. Moving on. Adjectives of quantity. Oh, shucks. Okay, well, you'll do that at the very end. Adjectives of quantity come before the noun they modify, guys. Before the noun they modify. So remember, this last one, after, they come after. But this one, quantity, what does that mean? Numbers, right? How many, how much. They come before the noun they modify. So let's take a look. Hay muchos libros en la biblioteca. La biblioteca. You know the song? There are a lot of books in the library, right? A lot. Muchos. Libros. Books in the library. Also, on this note, guys, the word of, we do not need to literally translate here. The word muchos implies of, okay? Hay muchos libros en la biblioteca. There are a lot of books in the library. The adjective is coming before the noun. Another one. Yo hablo con dos turistas. I speak with two tourists, right? Two. How many? Quantity, two. If it's an adjective of quantity, it'll come before the noun. The noun in this case being tourists. So, ¿cómo se dice? Let's do this one first. Sorry, I forgot to do the transition. But the first one, ¿cómo se dice? There are 15 students. Again, you're going to answer this on the Ed puzzle. There are 15 students. And then número dos, ¿cómo se dice? How do you say? There are few or a little bit of backpacks. Few backpacks, a little backpacks. Not small, a little, okay? It's few. difference there. Be careful. Okay. The last two things we gotta talk about are these words bueno, buena, and buen. What? Yes, there are three. Bueno and malo, guys. Both bueno and malo. They can be placed before or after. Remember, some of them go before, some of them go after, but these ones can break the rules. The thing is, though, you have to be careful. When you're putting it before, it does something, and when you're putting it after, you do something different. So, if you're going to place the word before the noun, the adjective is shortened. Bueno is going to turn into buen. Malo is going to turn into mal. So it'll look something like this. Joaquín es un buen amigo. Joaquín es un buen amigo. Joaquín is a good friend, right? Joaquín es un amigo bueno. Joaquín is a friend good, a good friend. Both of these, guys, both of these mean Joaquin is a good friend. The difference is what happened to that word bueno? It changed to buen. Okay, if this kind of throws you off, if you're not comfortable with this, then you just stick to this, right? Bueno is a descriptive adjective, so it will always come after the noun. The only time it'll come before is if you decide to shorten it and change it to the word buen. The other example we have here is with the word malo. Malo meaning bad. Okay, hoy es un mal día. If I said hoy es un mal día, today is a bad day. Or I could say hoy es un día malo. Today is a day bad, a bad day, right? Same thing here. They both mean today is a bad day. You have seen this before. You have seen it every single day in my class. You just don't even know it yet. Every single day when you leave my class, you tell me and everybody else, tell one person, right? You say, que tengas buen día. What? Right? We've been using this word buen before. Why did I put buen right here? Why didn't I put bueno? Well, because I'm putting the adjective before the noun, right? The noun meaning day, the adjective meaning good. Today, we're saying, have a good day to somebody. So, based on this rule that you just learned, you tell me, what's the other way I could say this? What's the other way? How could I structure this differently to still say have a good day, but with a different structure? Que tengas día bueno! Woo! But it just doesn't really roll off the tongue as nice, right? That's why we say que tengas buen día. But you could say, and you're still grammatically correct, if you say que tengas día bueno. That's what this is in real life action person. You've seen it, you use it every day. Okay? Que tengas buen día, que tengas día bueno. They mean the exact same thing. Last slide on this is the word grande versus gran. Okay, grande is the other weird one that could change meaning because if you shorten that word grande to gran, your word meaning has changed from big to great. Okay, gran means great, grande means big or large. Okay, so that's the difference there. So if I were to say, Don Francisco es un gran hombre, I'm not saying Don Francisco is a big man. I'm saying he's a great man. Okay. Gran coming before the adjective here. So notice the difference between that and this. La familia de Inés es grande. Inés's family is large, right? Large in this case, great in this case. Great meaning good individual, right? Great, awesome, super, gran. That's the very last one, though. That changes a little bit of meaning. So again, if you really just want to write big picture here, gran, great, grande, big. Be careful. Gran also coming before the noun, grande coming after the noun, in this case, after the verb. Okay, the very last thing that you're going to do for me is you're going to do a little practica on the ed puzzle. But before you do the practica, listen closely. Remember, chicos, I have made the announcement. Everybody knows this. You have a vocabulary quiz this Friday, the 15th, and it is on only the family vocab, not adjectives yet. Okay, so don't worry about studying these adjectives just yet. I want you to focus this week on those family words, but you should definitely start studying adjectives too. Okay, eventually you will be quizzed on them, but this Friday is strictly family vocab, not adjectives yet. So what you're going to do right now is you're going to translate the noun adjective combos. The tall grandfather, a nice sister, or four cousins, masculine, please. The different relative, and the last one, I just covered it on accident. A silly stepfather, okay? And as Yoda, the great wise Yoda says, word order, very important is. Please be careful, guys. Please be careful. I'm going to let you go ahead and tackle that on. If you got a question, let me know in this ed puzzle or online or email me, what have you. I will see you again when I see you. If this is, you are in my A group, then I will see you on Friday. If you're in my B group, I'll see you tomorrow, right? I'll see you physically in person tomorrow. I think I said that right. If you have a question, let me know, guys. Otherwise, buena suerte. Adiós. Nos vemos el viernes.